What's up? What's up? What's up? We got Yasha Ben Israel in Massachusetts, Mike back in the house again on tonight. And we got a good show ahead of you. Us ahead of you. Today's show is the Dunning-Kruger Effect amongst reprobate debaters. I got my man Massachusetts Mike in the house, and I want Mike to introduce himself and let y'all know what's been going on in his world since the last time he saw you and y'all saw him. I'm going to turn my camera off.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom family, Massachusetts Michael Shannon, here with brother Yasha. Always good to be here. Me and Yasha have been moving things forward, and in the future, look forward to more shows. And, we're just trying to, make our message known to the people, which is rooted in truth, facts, research, and especially history. And we look forward to giving y'all a good show. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me here.
Oh man, no greater person to have. Having you there makes the difference, my brother. Now, today I want to talk about some things, man. I want to talk about the Dunning-Kruger effect amongst reprobate debaters.
That's going to be Mike, a mighty topic.
Yes. Let's look up this Dunning-Kruger effect. Do you have the definition of the Dunning-Kruger effect, or should I pull it up?
Yeah, I can get it. I got it right here, actually.
Do you know how to share it?
It's defined. So the Dunning-Kruger effect is defined as a cognitive bias in which people with limited competence in particular domain overestimate their own abilities. And one more sub-definition too is also defined specifically for the self-assessments of people with a low level of competence.
Wow. Well, hold up. You said a lot there. Repeat that last one. I want to say repeat it all, but repeat that last one.
Specifically for the self-assessments of people
specifically for the self-assessment
of people with a low competence.
Of people with a low competence. Self-assessment. Basically, what is happening here is that, and what it has inspired this show was the Dunning-Kruger effect. You have people that have self-assessed their own knowledge. They have no degrees. They have no credible information. None of their information has been validated by no professors, teachers, or anything of that nature, or experts, professionals. These are people who, the Dunning-Kruger effect is like, have you ever seen a person who picked up a book, who read one book and felt like he was an expert on the subject after reading that one book?
Yes, and they display erroneous forms of thinking and judgment, which means erroneous means wrong. So not only are they very arrogant, they're actually wrong.
Yes. Is there anything valid about reading one book that can make you an expert?
Yeah, because the ego is a wild thing. But no, but the ego is a wild thing.
Okay, the ego is so. You were telling me something about the Dunning-Kruger effect on how it has something to do with ego. Can you expound upon that?
Well, that was, more of an opinion, because I think the ego drives, what you just described as the know-it-all mindset. You read one book and you're an expert.
Yeah.
So I believe it goes hand in hand, because I believe you have to humble yourself to a certain degree to learn something. And I think the polar opposite of an arrogant person who has that know-it-all mentality, you have to be very arrogant to say you read one book and know everything. Or you have to be pretty arrogant to say that statement in general.
Yes. I'm fixing to look up the Dunning-Kruger effect so the people can see it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very interesting topic because, especially in the religious or believing community, whether you're a Christian, a Hebrew Israelite, or whatever, um, there's a lot of arrogance in all walks of life, but you see it prolifically in the religious community.
Yeah, and well, I wouldn't even say the religious. You would see it amongst black people. So I would say that in the black conscious community, because it overlaps religion. You have people in there that's just not religious at all. You know, Chris Harris is anti-religious, and he's filled with the Dunning-Kruger effect. In fact, I got some clippings on Chris Harris that I like to show you about these debaters because we're talking about how these debaters, a guy will get into a confrontation with you, right? Because he don't believe something that you say. It starts out with just him not believing what you say. He don't have no knowledge of what you're saying. He just don't believe it. So
And then he'll
he boosts up the nerve and the arrogance, right? The arrogance allow him to boost up the nerve to want to challenge you because he don't like or believe what you said. So he's going to go study up on the subject one night, 1 week.
and give you some pseudoscience based off fact of what he believes is
Yeah,
a
2 weeks.
so-called fact.
Never more than 3 months. I've never seen a debate. Them debates is maybe a month or two off, right? You are not going to become an expert in a topic in 2 months.
What's that
You're
old?
not.
I think they said it takes 10,000 hours to become a master in something.
Yeah. Has it come
Ten
up yet?
thousand hours gets you a pilot license. So usually, that's what for a helicopter, avionics.
We look up the Dunning-Kruger effect. It says the Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias in which people with limited competence in a particular domain overestimate their abilities. It was first described by Justin Kruger and David Dunning in 1999. Some researchers also include the opposite effect for high performers. Their tendency to underestimate their skills in popular culture. The Dunning-Kruger effect is often understood as a claim about general overconfidence of people with low intelligence instead of specific overconfidence of people unskilled at a particular job. Now, as we can see here, it said that the Dunning-Kruger effect can go both ways. It also can work with guys like myself who are overcompetent but don't feel. I have the Dunning-Kruger effect because I'm overcompetent to debate any person in the conscious community, right? But because they are so stupid and they're so appalling, I don't feel fit. I don't feel fit. Hold on for a second. What's that? That cat? Don't worry about him. Yeah. Yeah. Y'all excuse me. I'm over here taking care of mom. She had a cat in the window and she's scared of the cat. And it's a screen in there. She's in there scared of the cat. So you'll see this, and we're going to show you some demonstrations of this Dunning-Kruger effect. You got guys like myself, man. I'm overqualified, right? But I don't think that I'm qualified to debate dummies, right? I'm afraid to debate a fool. You know why I'm afraid to debate a fool? I'm afraid to debate a fool simply because when you're dealing with a fool don't know. Mike then dropped out of the show. You all right there, Mike?
Hey, I'm back.
You back? All right. I was just telling the audience that in a sense, I have the Dunning-Kruger effect because I'm overqualified to debate these guys, and I don't want to debate them. I don't want to debate them because I'm afraid that my overqualifiedness is going to cause me to lose.
Well, that's a crazy statement in a few levels, but you
But that's
know,
what it is. This is what the conscious community creates.
it's interesting in the first part of that definition, a cognitive bias. That speaks volumes because
That
that
speaks
person,
volumes.
what was the term that we were talking about last week? Pseudo science or pseudo belief is rooted, or no, what was the term? We were talking about fallacious, and that means being deceitful on purpose.
Yeah.
Bias, correct?
Yes.
So
Let's
the
look that word up.
Dunning-Kruger effect can be a
I'm gonna look it
choice.
up.
I think the Dunning-Kruger effect is not just an effect, but it's a choice to be fallacious.
It's a choice. Yes. Okay. Now let's look up fallacious.
Because we try to be the opposite of the Dunning-Kruger effect. We try to be objective based on facts, history, and research.
And
But
research.
not
And that's the
everybody
key.
wants to be
That's the
that
key.
way.
That's the key part. Research, right? And when we talk about research, we're talking about we're building upon ideas that others, not you, right, have brought to the table.
Because I know brothers like us do not want to have our names attached to apostasy.
Yeah. You know, so when I tell people that guys in the conscious community and guys run around YouTube that are debating, when I say that they're fallacious, you act like you understand what I'm saying and you really don't, right? Have the screen showed up? Okay. So we read this word fallacious. I want you to understand what I mean when I say fallacious, right? When I call someone fallacious, I'm saying that they are embodying a fallacy. I'm saying that they are tending to deceive or mislead. I'm saying that these people are delusive, right? The notion that disease is caused by malign spirits was known to be fallacious long before germ theory was gave us real understanding of disease. That's an example, right? That's a delusive statement. That's a
Does it?
misleading statement. It sounds good, right? Like let's say Chris
No,
Harris
it's
will say,
based on that example right there. It says, it's an example. It says the notion that disease is caused by a demon is what that's saying. So that's like back in the 18th,
yeah,
1800s was caught, was fallacious, known to be fallacious long before germ theory gave us real understanding. So people that were saying a disease that was caused by a demon, people were saying, nah, that's fallacious because that sounds stupid.
yeah. But think of these words, like right. You'll have a guy like Chris Harris to say, the notion that disease is caused by malign spirits was known to be fallacious long before the germ therapy gave us real understanding.
Well, let me
And
say it's more
these
than being
people don't even
stupid.
know
They were
what the hell
saying,
this man said. He just said something, and he said it with an attitude. See, what people fail to realize in debates is that you can say anything hard enough and bold enough. If you say it with enough confidence and bold enough, there's people that'll believe you, man.
and you have the gift of gab, and you sound like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So when I tell you that somebody is being fallacious, right? I'm saying that they have, and I'm saying that that's a fallacious argument. Please understand that I'm telling you that that is a deceptive argument.
Or misleading.
Yes, it's a misleading argument. That's simply what I'm saying, right? Now, Chris Harris will sit up there and say, "Oh, that's a fallacy. That's a logical fallacy," as if though there's a whole book called logical fallacies. No, logical fallacy means that you're being logically deceitful.
Or
You're being
misleading.
logically deceptive. Now, y'all listen to what I'm saying because you're going to hear these guys talking about this because they steal from us all the freaking time, right?
All the
I'm
time.
saying
But
that these
didn't it
guys have
just
been.
happen a couple weeks ago?
You say what now?
It just happened about a week ago, didn't it?
No, like 2 days, like a day ago, a day or two ago.
Man,
No, it
you
might have
called
been about
me.
a week. It might
You
have been
called
about
me.
a week.
You called me and said, "Man, they stole your show."
Oh that was about a week or so ago. Yeah, they stole your show. You know, they're fallacious, they're deceitful. Okay. So when I tell you that a person is now inside of logical deception, we have logical deception, being that it is logically deceitful, there is syllogisms for them, right?
And when you say logically deceitful, what do you mean logically?
Okay, logic is reasoning conducted by strict principles of validation, right? And these strict principles are called syllogisms, right? So, what is a syllogism? A syllogy. Syllogisms are syllogies, right? A syllogy is when two or more premises forms a conclusion.
Yes.
That is a syllogy, right? And you could tell whether the logic is valid or invalid by its syllogisms, right?
Yeah.
Here's a premise.
Well, if the
One,
syllogisms are based in research, fact, and truth,
right. 1 + 1 equals 2. One is is a premise.
so no,
Plus,
the premise is math.
well, the premise is 1. The second premise is plus 1.
I mean, the syllogy
The
is math.
conclusion is 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's the syllogy. The first premise is 1. The second premise is add it to add another one, right?
And the
The
syllogism,
conclusion is that 1 + 1 equals 2. That's a syllogy, right?
yep,
So, so if one, so here's here's how the syllogies work. If 1 + 1 equals 2, right? Then 2 minus 1 equals 1.
yep. It's the form of reasoning in which conclusion is drawn based off two premises or more.
Right, right. And the strict principles of validity is the syllogism. It's the premises that is forming the conclusion.
And so when you say someone's being fallacious, they're deceitfully using a syllogism because they don't
Yes,
have to be valid or not. They have to be valid to the person,
yes.
and they
Me,
can be biased.
I married my wife, and we produced a dog. That's logically fallacious.
Because humans cannot make a dog.
Right.
We're breaking it down for the babies.
That's invalid.
And if you need help understanding that, I don't think we can help you.
Yes, that's logically fallacious. Okay. Now, what I want to do now is just go off into. Now that we got that out the way, I want to go off into some of these videos, and we're just going to watch. I want to do some recapping on Chris
All right.
Harris's style of debating. So I
Well,
have
at
to
least
go
we can
to.
use it as an example to show the people what the topic of the show is.
Yeah, yeah. So we can show you, number one, how to beat fallacious debaters. When you get finished watching this, all of you guys who think that Chris Harris is a great debater, you're going to actually, after this show, you're going to see him as a straight up fool.
You
You're going to
also see
see
the
him.
bias of the judges.
Yes, you're going to see the Dunning-Kruger effect very strong within Chris Harris.
And also a duel, that brings to light the bias of whoever's picking the winner.
Oh yeah, all of that. All of that. So if you think, I'm here to tell you that all of these debates are rigged, every one of them.
I agree with that. I've seen enough of them.
All of them are rigged. They're rigged for the simple fact that they don't have competent judges. Okay? They don't have competent judges to judge these debates. Now we're going to watch this debate here, right? Is it
Now,
up
I
yet?
would
Let me
like to
know.
say though, in the Ultimate Debate League in the championship, I feel like I had the right decision, which went to Reverend Charles, and that was overturned, but that's a whole nother story. But I believe I made the correct, objective vote in that as a judge for that specific debate.
Hold on for a second. Something going on. Man, I hate sharing stuff, videos by way of YouTube.
Or they make it difficult.
Yeah, like now I got this video shutting up and it's over here playing. So I gotta mute it because it won't. It's like the mute won't. I mean, it's like it won't stop. I got it on stop, but it won't stop. Now where are we here? I gotta share it. I'm gonna share this video here, and we're going to sit back and we're going to critique this, and I'm going to show you how fallacious these arguments is. It might. This video is going to be. We're just going to recap it. It's going to be 2 rounds between Anonymous Hebrew and Chris Harris. Each round is 15 minutes, so we're looking at possibly about another hour. So this video is going to
You want
be
to
about
stop
an hour.
between rounds, or do you want to stop
Huh?
between rounds and break it down? Do you want to stop between rounds and break it down, or just watch the whole thing?
Well, I don't. I'm not. By me watching the debate, I didn't see no logical fallacies coming up out of Anonymous Hebrew, although Chris Harris said it was. So therefore, I'm just going to let his part play through, right?
All right.
Because I'm not here to point out the logical fallacies in a place that it don't exist. I don't care
Well,
how
that would
many
be
times Chris Harris lied to the public and said that the brother was committing fallacies. So basically, I'm just going to let the brother's part go through. And then when it comes to Chris Harris, every time he does the bullshit, we gonna check him. See,
sounds.
we're gonna hold you accountable, people, for the lies that you're out here telling black people because you can sit up here and lie. You ain't about no people if you ain't about black people, bro. Okay? You sitting up here as a black man, lying, deceiving, fallaciously telling our people that you're for them when you're dumbing them down, people, when you're lying and deceiving to these people. These men don't give a fuck about you if they lying to you. All right. Now I'm going to point out what Chris Harris' style is. Allow me to share my screen. I'm going to point out his style. Okay. Chris Harris he's a threat. You know why he's a threat? Chris Harris is a threat because he's a disservice to black community. No different than the fucking dope man. Ain't the dope man a threat to the community?
Indeed.
Why? Because he's a disservice to the goddamn community. Can you see it? Can you see the video?
I see the screen's black right now, but
Michael.
yes. Can you hear me?
All right,
Can
so
you hear
let
me?
me find a place.
Sound check.
Yeah,
All right.
I can hear you now. I couldn't at first.
Okay.
Now we having problems with the damn screen. Yeah, it should be.
Okay, good, man. I'm on it. Hold on. My bad. Understand that I'm coming in just retelling the story of the Bible. You can see it now? What in the hell? Yeah, we should be straight now. Good. Hold on, let me set my timer. 5 minutes, right? All right. Let's go. All right, did the Exodus happen according to the biblical narrative? And of course, I must prove Moses III to be the Pharaoh of the Exodus. This is really going to happen, all right, family? So let's just go ahead and get it first. All right, in this debate, the Bible is the authority because the Exodus happens in the biblical narrative. So simply understand that I'm coming in just retelling the story of the biblical narrative. Of course, I will be using science, so I'll give you historical, anthropological, and archaeological proof, right? But the science is only working to give you reference points to solidify dates. The stratigraphy comes in because it will confirm the biblical narrative. This is not about consensus, right? And we'll deal with that because by that reckoning, we can't even trust history. If I come in and I tell you that, keep going, it's not about anachronisms either, even though I'll be glad to deal with that as well. Red herrings and appeal to authority will not work tonight. And guess what? This is not about tearing down anyone's ancestors. This is simply us looking into the book, seeing what happened, and then bringing the archaeological science to support the narrative. All right, let's get it. Clearly, the Bible shows you that 480 years from the time of Solomon, or before the time of Solomon, is when the Exodus happened, right? And it came to pass in the 480th year after the children of Israel. So we know 480 years. So let's do some quick math. You're going to see this all night, family. Look down at the bottom. Solomon's temple was 970. I want the judges to understand this. 970 plus 480 puts us right at 1450. There's only one person that can be in Pharaoh at that time, and that's Thutmose III. So for all intents and purposes, I've already set the debate. All right, he understands when Solomon's temple is. We know what consensus says. We can play with that all night. But we clearly know once we get to 1450, we're only talking about the 18th dynasty in the time frame of Thutmose III. Let's keep it popping. Now, the Exodus also says in Exodus chapter 12 that 430 years before that, they came into Egypt. All right, so now the sojourn of the children of Israel who dwelt in Egypt was 430 years. So now we have two bookends, okay? Look at the top of the screen, you got 1880. Then if you look at the time of the Exodus, 1450. These are our bookends, family. These are the time frames that I need you to focus on because this is what I'm going to take you through. From Exodus chapter 1 all the way to Exodus chapter 2 is about 280 years, really. It's really 250 years plus, you know what I'm saying, depending upon what time frame you're going to go in. I'm not going to get into specific years because we're going into antiquity. We could lose 10 years like that. So I'm going to use nice round numbers for you. Now, let's get a couple things straight. First, Moses was 80 years old when he spoke to Pharaoh. These things become imperative because once we start setting the narrative, you need to know when he spoke to Pharaoh. All right. So that means that Moses would have been about 80 years old at the time of 1450. So if you track 1450, that means he was born in 1530. You see where I'm going with this. Hatshepsut has to be Pharaoh's daughter. All right. This is simple. Moses was 40 years old when he fled. So that means when he flees to Midian, he was 40 years old. So that means he spends 40 years in Egypt. Okay, these things are very imperative. So like I said, Exodus 1480 to 1450, and when we really get at it, it's going to be 1450 to 1530. Those are going to be our time frames. All right, now we're going to cover the end of the 13th dynasty, when Joseph dies, the rise of the Hyksos, the proto-Israelites when they start to multiply, and then I'm going to get into my premise and really break this down. Okay, but I want you to understand this. Like when I first get started, I'm going to set the narrative for you. I'm going to explain to you where we are in history. I'm going to give you a nice, clean story, and then I'm going to run through the Exodus for you. I'm going to run through it and lay it right. It's going to be up to my opponent to come and discredit this. He says that he can beat it up in 4 minutes. I'm very anxious to see that, because according to the biblical narrative, not only did this happen, it happened according to the way that these people said it. You're not getting around it. You can't go over it. You can't get under it. You can't go around it. Tonight, we're going to fight right in the middle of the ring. And you're going to have to explain to me why the Bible puts it right at 1450, and everybody else that says anything else, you either got poor hermeneutics or you just don't want to admit the truth. I'm Anon, aka A Unity, aka the destroyer of false gods. I'm here all night, family. Let's go.
So we got Anonymous. That was his opening round. So I don't know. Let's see how this thing turns out. We're going to swing this thing over to Chris MVP Harris. You got 5 minutes, brother, to do your thing. It is on you, Chris Harris, whenever you're ready.
We want to stop on this guy right here. This guy right here is the guy of focus. You still there with me, Mike?
I'm here.
Was you grasping the information?
Yeah, I think he that was put together pretty well.
Did you find anything deceptive in there?
No, I didn't think it was deceptive.
Hey, what about the numbers, the timing? If you was to go back and to do the timing, you'll find that this brother is precise, right? Now watch what this guy here is going to do. Now, okay, now I want to show, before we go forward, right? This guy has no business in this debate. Hold on for 1 second. All right, I'm back. Now, Chris Harris has no reason in this debate, all right? I want you to look up something for me, Mike. You with me?
Okay. Yeah.
Look up this word incredulity or incredulous. Incredulous or incredulity, same thing.
Of a person or their manner, unwilling or unable to believe something.
Repeat that, because I cut you off as you were starting.
Can you hear me?
Can you repeat that? Because I was talking while you were starting.
Oh, it just says someone unwilling to believe something. It doesn't say whether it's based off truth or fact, but it says someone unable to believe something.
Okay. Now, incredulous people understand that. Incredulous is a person that's incredulous is someone that is arguing about something that he don't even believe, right? That in itself is a logical fallacy. Okay, we're going to look up this fallacy, right? Before this guy gets started, you need to know what you're looking at, people. And I'm going to take my time. Those who don't want to watch it, I don't give a shit. And I'm on the liar, scam, and fraud channel, so I don't care. We can let your hair down. You can curse. I don't give a fuck. Flat out. This is not a religious channel.
One thing I ask of you is when you believe you see something, just point it out. We can stop it because I want you to break it down.
You say what now?
When you feel like you have to pause it because something stands out that's fallacious, I want you to just highlight it.
All right. So what I want you to look up here, I want you to look up something. Look up arguments from incredulity. Or incredulous arguments. Well, and you will find that that is a logical fallacy.
So examples.
Basically, if I'm an Israelite and you're not, You have no business arguing with that type of person because the person you're arguing, the person that you're arguing
concluding
with,
that because
are you talking with me? Go ahead, say what you're gonna say, Mike. There's a delay in the system.
You still there?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
You still there?
Yes. I'm here. Can you hear me? Hold on for a second. I'm going to fall out and I'm going to come back. There's a problem. There's a problem in my mics. Hello? I got to leave and come back.
Hey, what's up, people? We're just waiting for Yasha to come back. But basically what we're getting at here is an argument of incredulity is concluding that because you can't or refuse to believe something, it must not be true, improbable, or the argument must be flawed. So
can you hear
what
me
we're
now?
going to be able to do here is break down when we see this. So when you were gone, Yasha, I just broke up the definition of arguments and incredulity. And it's just, I'll repeat it for you. It's saying that because you can't believe something, you must say it's not true or based in a flawed argument.
A flawed argument. A flawed argument. A flawed argument is a bad argument. A bad argument is a fallacious argument, people. What I'm trying to get you to understand is that if Mike is a Jehovah's Witness and I am not, right? And me and Mike have an argument, right? I am not qualified to argue with Mike simply because I'm arguing from a place of non-belief, right?
Which would be an incredulous.
It's incredulous. When you don't believe something, you'll lie. You'll be disingenuous.
You'll get mad.
You'll get mad. You'll deny
emotional.
The truth. You'll get emotional. You'll deny the truth. What'd you say? Emotional.
You'll yell.
You'll yell, right? Now, watch all of these things. Now, first, this is the first logical fallacy that he's going to come in right out the gate. And this fallacy is the argument from incredulity. The very fact that he's arguing from incredulity make his whole entire argument fallacious, people.
Now, you ready to bring it out?
Yes, I'm ready to bring it out.
And I would like for you to stop when you see something that stands out incredulous that you want to stop and highlight.
We're not going to be able to do that because Chris Harris is Gish Gallops. All right, look up Gish Gallops. Yeah, okay. I gotta get you to understand all of these things, right? Gish Gallops. Look up Gish Gallop.
A rhetorical technique in which a person in a debate tries to overwhelm their opponent by providing an excessive number of arguments with no regard for the accuracy or strength of those arguments.
Yes. A Gish Gallop is like when somebody throw out a barrage, right, of half-truths and lies. You know what I'm saying? Because you can't. Okay, me and you argue. We got 15 minutes in a debate. In 15 minutes, I could throw out 300 lies, and you have to rebuttal all 300 of my lies. So and if you can't rebuttal all 300 of my lies, I win.
So that's a debate technique when you try to overwhelm the opponent just by saying stuff live.
Yeah, but he's not. I could see if you're overwhelming them with truth.
You're overwhelming them with lies. That's why he's a threat, or anybody like that is a threat.
Yes. So now when they overwhelm you with lies, right? And a lot of times you will be stunned, right? People look up the word stupid.
That is good. I haven't looked that word up in a long time. The word
You think you know what that word means, but you don't. I guarantee you. Look up that word stupid.
having or showing a great lack of intelligence or common sense.
Uh-huh. Okay, my bad. Look up the etymology of stupid.
There's more definition.
Because stupid got something to do with, yeah, it got when you're dealing with the etymology, the origin, right, of this word, it has something to do with being stunned. Like when somebody say something, and like if I ask you what's 1 trillion plus 85 million divided by 67, you'll get stunned. It puts you in a stupor, right?
All right.
What these people do, hold up. What these people do is they put you in a state of stupor, and they actually are appalling, bro. And because they are appalling, they say something so stupid that you can't answer. They actually appalled you. They think they stupefied you. Deceit. You understand what I'm saying? So let's get to the crux of this argument. Okay, so
yeah,
what you want to look for is the argument from.
Hold on, let me just read that. Let me just read the etymology quick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You still there? Okay, so it comes from the 1540s of persons mentally slow, lacking ordinary activity of mind, dull, inane, from the French stupide, and directly from Latin stupidus, amazed, confounded, dull, foolish,
Amazed,
struck senseless,
confound.
to be stunned, amazed, confounded.
Now you could see they think they confound you when they actually appall you. That's the deception. Like say for instance when outside the cube say this is fallacious argument. He'll say, do you believe your God could do anything? And you'll say, yeah, my God can do anything. I know my God could do anything. He say, well, can your God create a squared circle? That's fucking appalling, bro. That's not intellect. Dude, that's stupid. You can't answer a stupid question. It's unintelligible. Right? Let's get to this Chris Harris. Chris Harris, so what he does, he's making an argument from a place of incredulity, which means he doesn't believe. Now, remember what Michael told you, the things that comes with the argument from incredulity: yelling, upset, lying, reaching, right? Straw man arguments. So because Chris Harris does a lot of gish gallop, I'm not going. The whole argument, right? The whole argument is an argument for credulity. So you're going to have to see that, right? And take that as that. And then when he's finished, you'll have to say, yes, that was an argument from the credulity, the whole argument. Now, inside of his argument from credulity, he's going to hit you with a barrage of fucking fallacies. You hear what I'm saying? And then what he does is, because people don't know logical fallacies, Chris is going to hit you with a barrage of fucking logical fallacies, and then he's going to accuse you for he's going to throw the rock and hide his hand. He's going to accuse you of doing logical fallacies. You hear what I'm saying? And when you go, he's going to cause the fallacy out that this person is doing. And if you know what these fallacies are, you'll see that he's lying to the people. He's going to say that this person is committing this fallacy, and he's not committing that fallacy. Chris is actually committing it. You hear what I'm saying? Chris will steal the fucking water and then lie and say, look, he's stealing the water. Are you there with me, Mike, or you gone?
Yeah, sound check.
You done fell out of the show, Mike.
Yeah, I still heard you, though.
Sound check.
Yeah, good.
Sound check. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing going. Now watch this. Well, I'm going to watch this.
You could begin. All right, Solo, let me get my screen share up because he's failed miserably already. Let's get that screen share up. So share.
All right, now that right there was fallacious. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Massachusetts Mike, are you there?
Yeah,
All
can
right.
you hear me?
What he just did. Yeah. Do you see what he just did?
What do you do?
Okay. He just created a logical fallacy before he even started, right?
Replay it?
You want me to replay it?
Yeah.
Well, it's simple. He just started out appealing to the masses. That's
Yeah, I
a
just want to
logical
hear it
fallacy.
again.
Appealing while I'm doing that, look up appealing to the masses.
Well, it's pandering.
Well, but it's a logical fallacy, though. That's the part I want you to look at to show the people that it's a logical fallacy.
Appealing to the masses.
The
Mass
appeal to the
appeal.
masses logical fallacy. Put it up like that. What he's trying to do is appeal to the masses to get them to make it though that he's there with the masses and that the masses is with him. Therefore, if he can get the masses with him, he can say any fucking thing and he gonna win an argument because the masses got him. That's a fallacy. That's deceitful, people. You didn't win that argument. That deception. Have you looked it up?
Mass appeal is just saying something to get, I don't know. So if you want to mass appeal, and it's about the quantity of the people you reach. If you're trying to reach the masses.
Okay, I'm gonna show you why appeal to the masses is a fucking fallacy, bro. All right.
Okay.
In the Bible says Jesus died on the cross, right? Right? Hello? Michael?
Indeed, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Michael?
Sound check?
Anyway, for the audience, since Michael can't hear me, because I can't let that stop the show, people.
Yes, you hear me?
A logical, yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Sound check.
Can you hear me? So he's starting off with an appeal to the masses, right? And the reason why the appeal to the masses is a logical fallacy, and you can look it up. The appeal to the masses logical fallacy. The reason why the appeal to the masses is a logical fallacy is largely because, let's say, for instance, the Bible says that Jesus died on the cross, right? When you look it up in Greek, in the Greek Koine Greek, it said Jesus died on the steros, which is a stake, right? So we have longer history of Jesus died on the steros than we do on the cross. And the original story said that he died on the steros. But since Christianity has promoted the cross and everybody's Christians, he's going to promote cross. Everybody got a cross on their neck. Did Jesus die on the cross or a steros? What's that thing on your neck? Is that a steros or a cross? See, this man is lying. This is the type of arguments that Chris Harris does. And this is why appealing to the masses is a bad thing to do. You there, Mike?
Sound check.
Can you hear us? Yeah, I'm here.
Yes, hear me? All right.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
My man. So we're going to get back. So I'm going to get back to that and show you what he just did. Right?
Okay.
That was his opening round. So I don't know. Let's see how this thing turns out. We're gonna swing this thing over to Chris MVP Harris. You got 5 minutes, brother, to do your thing. It is on you, Chris Harris. Whenever you're ready, you can begin.
All right, so let me get my screen share up because he's failed miserably already.
See that now? See that right there? You see that? You see that?
That's
Is he an
fallacious in
opponent or the judge?
That's fallacious in himself, in itself.
Is he the fucking opponent or the judge?
He's an opponent
Why is he judging the match?
because he's trying to sway the psychology of the listeners and judges.
That's right. He's trying to steer the people.
Because he planted a seed in the people's mind that, oh, if he believes so strongly that the other opponent was completely wrong, he's going to say something like that.
Dude, any person that's unprofessional, that's idiotic, that's fallacious. Dude,
That's being
how come you can't
deceitful
beat
on
him
purpose.
with your information alone? Why you have to steer the people?
Well, it also makes you sound like a jackass.
Okay, that's number one. Let's go. That's 2 fallacies before he even fucking started, bro.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. And I hope that, go ahead.
Share up.
I'll say, I hope that when we point these things out,
what are you finna say?
can see them. Well, I hope for the people watching this that you can see the complete apostasy of some of these debates.
Oh yeah, I hope so. And I'm gonna ask you, do you see it? And I'm gonna let you know whether I see it.
I see it clear as day.
All right, let's go. He ain't even 1 minute into his argument and fucked up 2 times.
He didn't get 5 seconds in before trying to be deceitful.
So tonight, family, we putting the Exodus on trial. As y'all can see, Anonymous Hebrew has already failed in his quest to prove the Exodus. Solomon's temple only exists within the biblical narrative. There is no archaeological proof on Solomon's
That's
temple.
a fallacy.
Okay.
That's a fallacy
Look
right there.
Look up the argument from ignorance. Logical fallacy. That's 3.
Right there. That's a fallacy.
Look up the argument from ignorance. Logical fallacy. That's 3 fallacies, and this motherfucker ain't even talked 2 minutes. Highly fucking fallacious. Gish Gallop. This shit ain't skill. This garbage. It's trash. This should be abhorred. Have you found it, Mike? Mike done fell out the damn show. Have you fell out the show, Mike?
I'm here. Sound check.
Yeah, I'm gonna need you to participate with me by talking because I'm in another.
I was talking. I don't know if you could hear me though.
Yeah, I need you to talk so I can know whether you fell out of the show. Because when I make the screen big, I can no longer see you. So that's why when you fell out of the show, I didn't know you was gone because you're not talking. I need to hear your voice so I can know whether you're in the show or not. Because I can't see you once I go out of the screen. Okay, look up the argument from ignorance. Can you find it?
Yeah, you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So the argument.
I can't hear you on the show.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a fallacy that says something's true because it hasn't been proven false, or something false because it hasn't been proven true. Still there? You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, it's the argument from ignorance is this, right? It is a logical fallacy. it states that you can't say something is not real because we don't have evidence. You can't say like God is not real. Hold on for a second. 1 second. Yeah, so when the argument from ignorance, mind you, is called the argumentum ad ignorantium,
It's like
right?
saying God's not real because you can't prove it.
Yeah, or saying like Abraham ain't real because we don't have his body. We don't have no evidence that Abraham is real. Dude, you don't have no evidence that your great grandmother was real. None. Most of
Show
y'all
me
don't
a
even know
body.
their name. You don't
That's
know their
like,
name. You don't know where they buried at.
well, that's like saying I don't believe in George Washington because his
Yeah.
body, I don't
Look,
have his body.
look, your great grandmother, right? Your great grandmother more than likely was born before 1933, so she didn't have a birth certificate. She didn't have a social security card. Right? So
Well,
you
that's
don't have,
like saying I
and when
don't
they
believe in a
died, right?
historical figure because I don't have their body.
Being that she was born in 1933 and she's been dead so long, right?
Man,
That
there's some people that have been. Go ahead.
you don't have her birth certificate. You don't have
Technically,
none of
you
the
don't have a
evidence
real record
connecting
that
you
she
to her.
actually. Technically, you don't have a record that she actually lived, except stories.
Yeah, and
Or
so
except that you know.
right. So you can't say that because I can't find or produce no evidence of this didn't happen.
Well, you know because your mom had a mom and she had a mom.
Yeah. Now here goes a better example, right? Chris Harris have said stupid things like there is no evidence that the children of Israel was there because they left. What do you say? They didn't leave by no cultural identity or something. Like basically, he's saying that if the Israelites was there, then where's the ephods? You should find a Levitical priest ephod somewhere. You should find a Torah or evidence of Israel somewhere. No, you shouldn't. The reason why you shouldn't find no Israelite evidence in Africa at all was because in 1492, Askia Muhammad, as well, which is the head of Islam, as well as Isabella and Ferdinand, right? They banned the Israelites. They banned their religion, they banned their culture, and every trace of Israeliteness.
And if you tried to
Inside of
practice
the
the Sabbath,
University of Timbuktu, huh?
if you tried to practice the Sabbath, they'd kill you.
Yeah. Any trace, if you ate according to, they used to make the Jews who would try to eat by the laws of Moses in their homes. Well,
Eat
since y'all want to
lobster.
do that, well, in order for you to make an allegiance to us, you must go outside and barbecue. Cook the pork on your front porch and eat it in front of the whole fucking community.
Which in Hebrew culture is an abomination.
Yeah. So you can't say that because there's no evidence of nothing Hebrew, that no Hebrews were there. Because the truth of the matter is there's a lot of written evidence. There's very little physical evidence because the physical Israel was banned.
Well, there's some physical evidence. All he has to do is look in the mirror.
Yeah. So if you understand how hard Islam and Christianity went to ban the children of Israel, you would know that there should be no evidence that you as an Israelite is not there. They moved your ass.
Well, Psalm 83, the whole world was better against Israel to wipe them off as a people in all history of them. There you go.
And these are facts.
Crafty counsel.
It is a fact that Askia Muhammad, as well as the Christian monarchs, went on a straight banning of Hebrewism, a banishing.
A warpath.
Yeah. They were there to erase what the scripture say in Psalms 80, was it 82:6?
83,
Not 82:6. What was that? The Psalms where he talked about
Psalm 83 is the crafty counsel against Israel.
Yeah.
The whole world was confederate to erase their identity, the history, the remembrance.
Yes. And how do we know this? Because that's what they were doing back then.
Yep.
The reason why you don't see Israelite identity on the hieroglyphics, because the Egyptians erased it. Oh, memory. Just like the reason why you don't find Israelite nothing amongst African Americans is because the American government erased it.
My.
They erased it. So that shit he said about Solomon, how many, what's that, 3 or 4? He just started off with a fucking barrage. Like, damn, bro, you don't give this shit a break.
Yeah, well, just the way he started the debate, it should tell you a lot how about the whole argument's gonna go.
Yeah, now watch this.
Archaeological evidence in order to sustain that premise and use that date of 480 years. But we're going to deal with all that. All the dates put forward by advocates of the historicity of the Exodus fail to correspond to any period of national chaos or collapse in Egypt, as would clearly be expected by such a series of disasters. The 15th century BCE date corresponds with the time of ambitious Egyptian expansion. The reign of Hatshepsut was stable, peaceful, and saw extensive construction process and trading missions. This is known from actual material remains as well as Egyptian records. Her successor, Thutmose III, took Egypt to the greatest imperial extent, forging an empire from the Euphrates to the 4th and 5th.
Say what?
You know what you got to do right there? He says Egyptian records. Yeah, what Egyptian records?
See, that's another fallacy, right? I'm gonna tell you what makes this what fallacy he's doing now, right? You know what fallacy this is called? Conjecture. This is conjecture.
And how do you define conjecture?
Conjecture is insufficient evidence, defective evidence, evidence that lacks either or both quantity or quality.
You know, one of the poorest qualities I see in debaters is when they name a source and they can't name what it is. You know, he said it exists in Egyptian records. Yeah, what records?
Right, but see, this is why this is okay. This is not a source, right? A source is you giving information. It's telling us where you getting this shit from, man.
Correct. And
you don't know who wrote this. You don't know where this shit got from. We don't know
where he's getting his information.
Hold up, we don't know who is saying this, and he won't let you know who's saying this because he don't want you to go look up the credibility of the person that's doing this.
Like when he said that was known as a time of ambitious Egyptian expansion. Yeah, poor source. What?
So this, but I'm saying that, but his sources is flawed. You said you pointing it out. He talking about the Egyptian. So he ain't get this off the Egyptian records, bro.
No.
He did not get this off. Where did you get this information from?
I have no idea where he got it from.
So is he sourcing his? Is he? You know how they say source up or shut up?
Yeah, and
is this a source? Is this a reference?
No, it's just I don't need this. For all I know, this could be his opinion.
You're not proving your credibility here. You're not proving anything, brother.
And
this is not proof because this is not credible.
Now, if I was a listener,
it's not credible until you prove it is.
Exactly.
Right. And what he's going to see, this is why he don't want to debate me. This is not credible, bro. Until you prove it is. Now, what he's going to do in debating me, that's what I would do. I would say this is not credible, right? This is not credible. So to make it credible, he's going to try to go and show me where he got this from, right? Well, he should have did this, had it on the paper.
Oh,
He
absolutely.
should have had the book, right? The title, the year it came out, the company, what page is on, what paragraph is on, right? What
And
chapter
as
it's
soon
in,
as he
and
mentioned it,
the author.
exactly. That's called a reference.
That's a reference. This is not a reference. I'm tired of y'all sitting up here letting this deceitful shit just get by. Now, if he want to get big and bad against me, right? This is why he don't want to debate me. This is why this bitch ass nigga run from me, dog. This nigga, what I would do right here, I'm going to challenge this fucking source. Right? You got to take the legs out from under these niggas, dog. When these niggas run up on you with the gun, you got to knock that gun out their hand, man.
And I think you could do it pretty easily here.
His source, right? He think he got you when he go pull up Israel Finkelstein, right? He think he got you when he pull up these so-called great archaeologists, right? Wrong. You know why? Because now I'm finna take the legs off from archaeology. Watch this.
I'm ready.
Now you attack archaeology. Right?
Yep.
Want me to share my screen? Stop. Present screen, share, pow.
Well, I think we're exposing the fallaciousness pretty good.
Okay, we're gonna get out of okay, a new tab.
Because it's plain as plain can be.
New tab, share screen. I want y'all to see this, right? Now, he think that but the archaeologist said, right? Now I'm gonna show you a plea now, because what he's doing now, what he's going to do now, and you're going to see it in the video, he's going to do what's called the plea to authority. Look that up.
Plea to authority?
Logical fallacy, yeah. The appeal to authority, my bad.
Yeah. Sound check?
Yep.
All right.
The appeal to authority, logical fallacy.
So you got your screen up.
You got it?
Yeah, hold on one second. You got your screen up still.
That's okay. I'm gonna need it up. I just want you to read what the appeal to authority, logical fallacy is. I want to show y'all something. He haven't even finished a full paragraph in his opening sentence, and he done hit y'all niggas with like 6 logical fallacies.
Right? You can still hear me right now, right?
Yes, sir. I'm waiting for you to let it loose. The appeal to authority, logical fallacy. I need to pull it up?
Yeah, pull it up on the screen.
I'll pull it up on the screen. Okay. The appeal to authority fallacy. Is it up?
Yep.
The appeal to authority fallacy occurs when conclusions are deemed true solely because of expert endorsement. Right?
Regardless of the expert's actual knowledge. Doesn't sound like much of an expert.
Yeah. Right. Basically, what I'm saying is that what Chris has done have take these fraudulent experts, bro. They're fraudulent as fuck, bro. They have been debunked by hundreds of fucking other archaeologists, right?
So the appeal to
They've been
authority.
developed because inside of archaeology, you have three types of archaeologists. You got the maximalists, you have the minimalists, and you have the revisionists, right? Chris Harris in this debate, he's going to call the archaeologists that Anonymous Hebrew used, he's going to call them revisionists, and they're not. They're maximalists. Right?
Now, what makes him a maximalist?
Right. When you talk about biblical archaeology, maximalist is people. Hello?
Yep.
Hold on, I'm gonna go in and out because I gotta. Hold on, I'm gonna go in and out because I gotta. Still have
Good to go.
Still have something is going on here. Hold on. Something is going on here. Hold on.
Yes.
Mute your mic. Hello? I still have a delay. Hello?
Sound check.
Yeah, just mute your mic. And I'm going to say, I'm going to have to back out. This is annoying. I'm going to try it again.
You're loud and clear over here.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you've been loud and clear.
What about the echo and the delay?
It's fine.
All right. So what was we at there? So we talk about the maximalists, the minimalists.
Appeal to the authority, and I said, what makes I forget the last thing we're talking about. You said
we talk about the maximalists, the minimalists, and the revisionists.
Yep.
Right. Okay. In biblical archaeology, the maximalists, they are people who are doing the deeds, the research for the purpose of proving the Bible as real, as historical, and as archaeological.
Okay.
The minimalists are the people like Chris Harris who try to tell you that the Bible is fake and has nothing to do with Egypt. Lying.
You know, based off
are people who try to rewrite the world.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back to this is why I don't like recapping Chris Harris's debate. It's difficult because it's all trash. It's like
it's good to do things like this to expose it to the people.
Yes. It's like you have to dig. Okay, let's say you lost something and you put it in the trash can. You can go in the trash can, but imagine if you lost something in the fucking dumpster.
A needle in a haystack.
Yeah. That's what Chris is. All right.
All right.
And that's
That's
what makes it hard
hard
for
for
people
people
to
to
debate
debate
him.
him.
This is
This
what
is
makes
what makes
it
it
hard.
hard.
Because they
Because
don't
they
know
don't know
fallacies,
fallacies,
they're
they're
supposed to
supposed to
call that
call that
shit
shit
out right
outright
as he
as
do
he
it.
do it.
And they don't
And they
do
don't
that.
do that.
So that's well, it's good that we exposed the tactic. And what was that tactic again?
I don't know what you mean.
The debate tactic, the definition I just read.
Gish gallop.
Yeah, gish galloping. That's a debate tactic.
Yes.
Yes.
And now
Chris Harris
accused me
accused
of
me
gish
of gish
galloping
galloping
when he's
when
the
he's
gish
the gish
galloper.
galloper.
Isn't that a whole isn't that a whole psychological thing right there? When you try to accuse someone of
Yeah,
Yeah,
psychological
psychological
bullshit.
bullshit.
well, you accuse someone of doing something that you're guilty of. I think there's a term for that, but you know what I'm talking about.
Gaslighting.
Gaslighting, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all
all
of
of
that.
that.
I mean, dude,
you
this
can
dude ain't even went into his, he ain't even went into his opening statement yet, bro, and did like 10 fallacies, dog. You hear me? A real judge would have just stopped this debate right then and there, like, dog, this nigga trash, man.
You know, especially when he said Egyptian records. What records, bro?
Yeah, tell us what records, where to find this stuff.
Tell us what records, where to find this stuff. You just see
That's
shit.
another logical fallacy.
That's another logical fallacy.
Look up the burden of proof.
Look up the burden
logical
of proof logical fallacy.
right?
Right?
Mm-hmm.
What the burden
What
of
the
proof
burden of proof
is,
is
I say something and I
I
shift the
shift
burden
the
of
burden of
proof
proof
on
on
you
you
to prove
to prove what I say.
Right. And
that's,
not
that's one of the reasons why the argument is ignorant.
And that's very fallacious and deceptive because you're expecting the person to know it when you're not going to know it, when you should have provided the source, when you did it on purpose, or it might not exist, because that's a debate tactic. And that is so you got to actually look at this and what we're exposing right now, because this is a shame, actually.
It's sad, right? And y'all just demon up.
And why are they doing that, you think?
Because they hate God.
Well,
They
it
hate
is-
Israel.
it
They
is what-
anti-Semitic.
it is what it is, then.
Okay?
Okay?
So we look at the argument
is
for
ignorant,
ignorant,
right?
When the
The
argument for ignorant is like we talked about, you said some names don't exist. Evidence don't exist.
So you want to go back?
If I say Abraham is real because there's no evidence, that is a tactic to get you to produce evidence. You say Abraham not real. You produce the evidence that he don't exist.
It's like that argument, prove you're an Israelite. And actually, you can. You can.
I've done it very easily.
Right, but what I'm saying is, if I knew you couldn't prove it, I would say, prove you're an Israelite, and knowing you can't do it.
Okay, but that's what they're trying to do. You made the claim that Abraham is real. You have to prove he's not real.
And how would I do that? How would I do that?
You have to produce. You don't make me produce the evidence. You don't make me produce the evidence that he's real. You make me produce the evidence that he's not.
Just like that's like you asking me to say God's real. Prove to you God's real.
I mean, that's just a question. But if I say he's not real because there's no evidence, that's an argument from a place of ignorance.
And the burden of proof is a very crafty, deceptive tactic. And you want to get back to his video?
Yeah.
You know, because you're breaking out some very deep things right here. And you know, Chris Harris he's slick with it, because if you don't know these things, he's going to be able to, with all these tactics and fallacies we're pointing out, slickly, get under the simple listener.
He knows I know this. So he runs like a bat out of hell for me. You don't want to be on the same show with me.
Well, I know I can see that now for 100% why.
All right. Let's go for it.
You know, this is good. You know, you breaking these things out. It really is. Because people don't know these things. And if you're ignorant of these things, you can be misled very easily.
Right,
You know, not because you're incompetent, just because you don't know.
Yeah. Now for the push play.
All right. You got to share your screen.
Oh shit! What happened?
Yeah, you got to share your screen.
That's why I was telling you. I need you to talk.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know you didn't have it up.
Yeah, I thought it was on the screen, but I thought it was up. When I open up the big screen, I can't see nothing. I don't know nothing on the show.
Okay.
If you fall out, if you can't hear me, I don't know anything. That's why I need to talk.
Yeah,
like
but
if I ask you something, I need you to let me know you're real.
All right, go ahead.
All right.
All right, it came up.
And use that date of 480 years. But we're going to deal with all that. All the dates put forward by advocates of the historicity of the Exodus or period of national chaos or collapse in Egypt, as would clearly be expected by such a series of disasters. 15th century BCE date corresponds with the time.
Can you hear that good?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Was it any echo?
No.
Okay. I'll let it play.
Temple. You would have to show archaeological evidence in order to sustain that premise and use that date of 480 years. But we're going to deal with all that. All the dates put forward by advocates of the historicity of the Exodus fail to...
See, I can't continue to go forward.
I can see why.
You don't need archaeological evidence.
And why not?
You have written evidence.
Correct.
Which is the Bible.
I think there is some archaeological evidence because in the bottom of the Red Sea they do have the chariots.
Well, they got archaeological evidence, but these people ain't talking about it. The Great Wall. Not all the temples stood right there in the same spot.
Yep.
I mean, if the Bible says that the Syrians burned down the temple, why in 720 BC? Why in the fuck would you be looking for the ashes
of the Assyrians?
Or the building?
Yeah, that's crazy.
You want to look for evidence of a broke down building 3,000 years after it burned down.
Yeah, we got to do a carbon check.
Dude.
Well, now I can see why you get so frustrated.
You don't need the evidence. He's going to sit up there and tell you. In order for you to be here, you have to do this.
That's exactly what it says. He said in order to sustain that timeline, you'd have to produce archaeological evidence that exists. That's what he said.
But you don't.
Not according to him.
Fuck him.
Exactly.
Who is he? Where's the degree? He ain't valid. He ain't credible.
He hasn't even named a reference in, he's going to say, well, it says it in most Egyptian records, and it's going to have the audacity to keep going without saying what records.
Dude, we ain't even 3 minutes into this fucking 15-minute argument, bro.
Yeah, that's a shame.
That's sad, bro. Let's go.
All right.
Corresponds to any period of national chaos or collapse in Egypt, as would clearly be expected by such a series of disasters. 15th century BCE date corresponds to the time of ambitious Egyptian expansion. The reign of Hatshepsut was stable, peaceful, and saw extensive construction process and trading missions. This is known from actual material remains as well as Egyptian records. Her successor, Thutmose III, took Egypt to the greatest imperial extent, forging an empire from the Euphrates to the fourth and fifth cataract. These are not the signs of a nation that just a few years before has lost its entire harvest, its drinkable water, its army, and its sons, a la the firstborn crisis. There is no archaeological evidence at all of mass death and impoverishment in the early New Kingdom period. The same holds true for the period of Ramses II, although there were a few brief reigns after Meneptah and what appears to be an attempt to interfere with the line of succession, the Chancellor Bay affair. There's no evidence of a national catastrophe. Not long after, during the reign of Ramses III, the state was still able to construct numerous massive monuments, such as Medinet Habu and the Temple of Ramses III within the Karnak complex, and mount effective military campaigns on both land and sea. Anonymous is going to use revisionism tonight, people.
We're going to use revisionism in the correct term. You're on mute, brother.
But he's not. He's not using revisionism.
No, he's not.
Using revisionism. He's using maximalist arguments. And Chris is using minimalist arguments.
You know, that's an embarrassment. That whole 5 minutes is an embarrassment.
No, I'm from the really embarrassing. Right? Okay, now watch this. Maximalist, revisionist, minimalist. This argument is a maximalist and revisionist. I mean, this is a maximalist and minimalist argument. The revisionist is anonymous himself. But he's using maximalist argument.
Well, do you know in that paragraph there? Well, okay, Chris, what's the evidence of what you said is even true? He said this is not evidence of mass deaths, lost all their crops. How do I know that those? How do I know that those things and those expansion of Egypt even happened? Where is your
bingo? Watch this. Allow me to share my screen. Now this is what's embarrassing. Right.
Yeah.
Watch this. He depends on archaeologists so hard. Right. This is what I would do. The young anonymous didn't do this. And that made him feel miserably. He should have done it. You don't go. The Bible tells you not to go word for word with the food.
That's in the Proverbs.
But y'all keep doing it. You don't go word for word with the food. You take him the fuck out. Right.
Well, you know what they would do. You know, people like this would use the verse. Oh, you got to prove all things.
I am.
I don't got to prove.
I am. Watch this. Now I'm gonna look up something. Look at this.
Well, what I'm saying is the fallaciousness is saying.
Hold on. You interfere.
Go ahead.
I got it. See, I was trying to use my mic to call up something. And when you start talking, it started,
okay, go ahead.
It started pushing up what you were saying. So now I got to do it again. Now hold up. Now watch this. Is it up?
Yep.
All right. Watch this. Is archaeology an exact science? This ain't
This ain't
even
even
answer
answer
my
my
question.
question.
Okay, bingo. Can you
Okay,
see it?
bingo. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
This is from
This is from
themedium.com.
medium.com.
Archaeology
Archaeology
is not an exact science.
is not an exact science.
Also,
Also,
you need
you need
to keep in mind archaeology
is
is
not
not an
an
exact
exact
science.
science.
Just to
Just
give
to
an
give an
example,
example,
how do archaeologists generally identify a particular site like Hebron
Hebron
or
or
Jericho
Jericho
or
or
Ai
IE
or
or
any other site,
site,
primarily from
primarily from
arid
arid
names of
names
those
of those
sites?
sites.
Archaeology
Archaeology
is
is
not
not
an
an
exact
exact
science.
science.
Archaeology
Archaeology
is
is
not
not
an
an
exact
exact
science.
science.
So,
So,
dog,
dog,
you appealing
you
to
appealing
authority
to
when you
authority
calling
when you
them
calling them
installations
installations
as
as
archaeologists, bro.
archaeologists, bro.
So he said when he's saying you need archaeological evidence, so based off what? If it's not an exact science, it's
Then you don't
You
need
don't
it.
need it.
well, you can't use it as complete evidence if it's not exact science.
But
But
he's
he's
using
using it.
it as if
And
it
that
is.
goes against guerrilla Hebrew in the is Esau the father of the white man when he in his argument used artifacts to sustain his argument.
Archaeology is
is
not
not
an
an
exact
exact
science.
science.
Mathematics
Mathematics
is an
is
exact
an exact
science.
science.
Language
Language
is an
is an
exact
exact
science.
science.
History
History
is an
is an
exact science.
exact science.
Biology
Biology
is an
is an
exact
exact
science.
science.
Archaeology
Archaeology
and
and
anthropology
anthropology
is not
is
an
not
exact
an exact
science.
science.
Now, what makes it not an exact science?
Because it's not.
Because it's not.
I'll give you
I'll
an
give you an
example.
example.
The
The
minimalists
minimalists
have
have
said
said
that
that
based
based
on
on
their
their
deeds,
deeds,
their
their
archaeological
archaeological
expeditions,
expeditions,
that
that
it was in the Bible is a
is a
lie.
lie.
Well,
That
that's
Bible
ridiculous.
talks about when
when
Abraham was in Egypt, that there were camels in
in
Egypt.
Egypt.
You know what
You know what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying?
Mm-hmm.
Archaeologists
Archaeologists
have did the
did the
dig
dig
and went
and
back
went
to
back
the
to
time
the
of
time of
Abraham
Abraham
and have found
and have
no
found no
evidence
evidence
of camels in the land that go back that far. So they come and tell you that it was a lie.
Well,
Because
because
we have no evidence.
they didn't find a camel skull.
A skull, or Indian, right?
right?
Okay.
Now, the
The
problem
problem
is
is
when
Just
they
'cause-
did their research,
Well, just because there's a camel skull, they didn't find a camel skull doesn't mean there weren't camels there.
well,
Well,
yes,
yes,
but based on what? That's where your argument.
Well, because land is vast. Just because they found one place to dig doesn't mean there was not camels.
Well,
I'll let you argue with them on that,
right?
right? I'll let
I'll
them
let
you
you
on that.
on
right?
that.
Well, I just mean think about it. Just because think about it. Think about your street. What if they tried to think about your
Okay,
town?
but what I'm saying is that you don't have nothing to shut them the fuck up.
Well, I mean common sense, but go ahead.
Well, that's not going to make them shut up.
Or go ahead.
Okay.
Okay.
What they've done was in their research, they were only searching for the one-humped camel.
Yeah, did they dig up the whole land?
Obviously, they said they did.
They dug up the whole square
They said they did.
miles.
They
Okay.
said they did. Let's
Okay.
move forward. Right?
Right?
All right.
And they didn't find the one-humped camel.
Okay.
Right?
Right?
Now, ancient archaeological drawings, cave drawings, found the two-hump camel and the herds of them draw on walls.
Wow.
Predating Abraham.
And if you could say that it's not there because of lack of archaeological evidence.
That is archaeological evidence.
Exactly.
Now listen. That's a drawing of a man training and breeding camels on the wall. They're predating Abraham. And guess what? The camels have two humps.
Wow.
Y'all was not searching for the two-hump camel. You see how they are?
Yeah, they're slick with it, huh?
Yeah. And this is why you should watch.
And thank you for bringing that example out. I appreciate that. I think that people will understand it better.
Jabari throws that out all the time. That's only an example. But they're being disingenuous.
They won't tell you that.
I will.
No,
That's why they don't want me on the show.
Well, that's why we're on the Dummies, Liars, Scammers, and Frauds channel.
Yeah. Let's get back to the show.
All right.
Allow me to share my screen.
I think this is a great topic. It's been a great show so far. You got so frustrated you couldn't go 5 more seconds.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Use man's detail tonight, people. Anonymous is not going to stay within the biblical time frame, people. And I'm going to show you that he's not using the Bible as authority, but white European Christian scholars. He will not use one Jewish source. He will not use a Hebrew source, but instead he will appeal to authority the entire.
That's a dumb statement right there, bro.
Could not have happened under the reign of Tutmos.
How are you gonna say he's not using a Jewish source when he's using the Book of Law? You're muted, brother.
He said that Anonymous was going to appeal to authority all night. He came after Anonymous. Anonymous is done with his first round. But we didn't hear him authority one time.
My goodness. Yeah, let's keep playing. This is crazy.
This shit retarded, dude.
Yeah, it's bad.
You debating the devil. A motherfucker that's a liar. And deceive the whole time.
We got 2 hours of that whole debate. He hasn't even gone for 5 minutes.
It's crazy.
Any of the 18th dynastic kings. The time from Ramses II to Tutmos III is over 248 years apart. And we're going to deal with the anachronisms in the text because the anachronisms give the text its context. So we're not going to get pseudo here and stick with the Hebrew Israelite shuffle bucket. I'm in this ring all night. I'm the champion here.
Now, do you see what I just told you?
Oh man, this is hard to watch.
And then here's other people doing it.
You know, he just sounds so snarky, man. Like, now I know why you just want to smack. This is crazy, bro.
Now, if you saw this and I wasn't there, it'll look like he was showing his ass up. He wasn't.
Well, he's got good showmanship. I can say that much.
It's called fraudulent.
Well, he's like, you know how WWF characters, they have showmanship? This is what he has. It's an act. You know.
I will tell you what. He's like the Brooklyn bomb. You know, that's his showmanship. You get your ass whooped. and fuck around and get raped because he's been around so long.
Chris Harris is a heel.
Let's go for it.
All right.
I picked this book apart last year, and I'm gonna do it tonight. Let's make this happen. Chemo Cyber on the horizon.
All right. So looks like we got a fight on our hands, family. What we're gonna do is take a brief intermission, and we're gonna get back to the meat and potatoes of the debate.
Yeah, you muted, brother.
We've been on here an hour and 40 minutes, and we haven't even got past the opening statement. There is two more rounds, and I'm not going to go through them.
I don't think we need to.
I'm not going to.
Now, can I ask you a question though? Does he try to say what Egyptian records he's talking about?
No.
See, there you go. And how do you know those time periods? Like he said, this doesn't look like a kingdom that had mass death and lost all their crops, because this happened from them.
The brother walked us down his timeline. If you can't do math, that's your fault.
And he just told us that all these things happened, and he said Egyptian records, didn't name what records, and we're just supposed to believe him.
Yeah.
That's about as bad. That's about as
the only people sad with this man is people who hate God, who hate the Bible, and who hate black people.
Welcome to the HOK.
Unless black people abandon God or the Bible, they not fucking with this.
Well, it's crazy to think that people would side for this. Hate God, hate themselves, hate black people, hate people. Because if you're siding for something like this, you gotta have a real anger and bitterness and bias in your heart.
See, I follow Chris. Because Chris is a threat. Because he's spanking people after don't know how to fight.
Well, if you're calling him fallacious, that makes him a direct threat. On purpose, being deceitful.
It's devilish. It's menacing.
He's trying to brainwash.
It's like the hitman in the neighborhood.
Well, he's feeding in to some of the ignorance and some of the hate and some of the anger and bias of the people with lies.
Yes.
And who's the father of lies?
Shaitan.
Hashatan. Lucifer.
So now you understand why I don't fuck with you.
Well, I hope the people understand.
There's no one in the fuck. He could beat me based off what I just said.
Oh my goodness! Unless you're reprobate and just on his side.
But they would say he beat me.
Well, that's because that's retarded. I mean,
you go on my channel, on this very channel. I got hundreds of videos of him thinking Chris ass, and he think he beat me.
Well, of course he thinks he beat you.
He didn't beat me.
Well, he might not know.
That's why he running up on all the Hebrews. See, let me tell you why he wants to beat me.
He probably steers.
Chris is clout chasing. Any hot Hebrew that got a name out there, he want to debate him. You don't want to debate me.
You'll make him. You'll make him look stupid. You would make him look stupid.
I have made him look stupid several times.
You should bring those videos up.
I'm the motherfucker that makes boy blood boil. Don't none of the motherfuckers want to see me. None of them lying. Shit, none of them want to see me.
What do you think was your last? What do you think your last recorded debate was?
My last recorded debate,
Yeah.
probably on HOK and Apostle. I think
So
Apostle was my last debate.
So it's on the HOK or I'd have to. I want to try to.
Like 3 people on HOK.
What's that?
It might have been Matt. I forget his last name. Christian apologist. No, the last dude I debated was that G-Man.
Who's it?
G-Man.
G-Man. I gotta try to find it on Sudden
That
Nutter.
guy on Sudden Nutter.
Is it on the HOK channel or his other one?
The other one.
All right.
Last year, Mark.
Who's that? I'm not familiar with that, brother.
His name G-Man.
What was the topic?
You just go on my channel and see it.
I'll check it out. But yeah, you're exposing. Now, how many debaters on the HOK do you think are as fallacious as Chris?
All of them.
Wow. My goodness.
And the Israelites too.
Tazariak?
Yeah. All of them. The Israelites. That's why they get their ass spanked.
I know they don't want to debate you.
I'm the guy. The motherfuckers love to forget, bro.
Well, my goodness. Well, you're the guys people who would love to remember if they're going after the truth and God sincerely.
So if that's so, that means everybody wants truth.
Well, this is a perfect example of why I'm on your show, the Jew and Gentile Power Hour, which is not this show, but that is the reason. Because we, you know?
We're going to change the world.
I certainly hope so, my brother.
Yeah. But that being that, it's an hour, 47 minutes. We're going to shut this down, man.
All right, brother. Well, I hope everybody that sees this can see what the topic of the show was and see what we did to break that down. And I think we did a good job.
Yeah, I want you to close it out. Pinpoint. Put attack in some point, get you solved.
Yeah, I just want to point out I just think you did a great job of pointing out clearly what is, when you said the fallaciousness of the debaters, I think this is you did a great job of making it clear what the fallaciousness was. And the fact that you couldn't get out of the opening statement without pointing out so many facts and so many fallacies. And you even opened up to the point of a debate technique in which Chris uses to deceive and get to get a leg up with the listeners and judges.
There's no way that should beat you. He's going to tell you how to beat him. By accusing you the shit that he do.
Not everybody's going to have...
It's like this. Chris gonna steal the cheese. The cookies.
Yeah, he's gonna steal the cookies.
And then you gonna say, I ain't got it. Chris stole it. Now you look real. They don't believe you just said it because he said.
One of the biggest thing Chris uses is the burden of proof. Okay, well, you need to prove that, like you said. Oh, Abraham's will give me the evidence. You know what I'm saying?
Nothing. You made the claim. You prove it.
Exactly. It's almost like reverse psychology.
You can't prove it because it's an argument from ignorance.
Now, is Chris aware of all the fallacies we pointed out tonight?
Yes.
And he uses them as a debate tactic?
He used them, and then he'll accuse you of doing it, and you're not even doing it.
Yes. Now, to make you look bad.
He'll throw a rock and hide his hand.
Yeah.
You know what that means? That means I got a rock in my hand. I threw that and bust you upside the head, and I hid it and said you did it.
You know how magicians use sleight of hand for tricks, street magic?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. But like magic, it looks real, right? But it's not.
And it's a bunch of fake motherfuckers following him. Because if you think that shit real, y'all a bunch of every 1,000 or 2,000 motherfuckers listening to him is 2,000 fake dumb motherfuckers, bro.
Well, it's like Barnum and Bailey when they put the curtain on top of the chair and then they take it off and the woman pops out. You don't think the woman was already in the chair, all crunched up, or I really think she just came out of thin air.
They think that they stupid.
Exactly.
They think Chris is an internet.
Well, they're
This is
simple.
a man.
Well, they're simple.
That will run up to guys that got PhDs and challenge them with stupid salacious ass arguments.
Yeah, and you know, I want to call out Jabari for taking our show and then going on and trying to discredit a PhD scholar that Moses was in Egypt, bro.
This shit is crazy. Now you go back and look at the timeline, all that shit fit up perfectly, bro.
Now, who won this debate based on the judges?
I didn't watch it till the end. I watched the end of the debate. See, they have stupid debate. See, because after you got the opening round, you got your premise round, you got your rebuttal round, and then at the end they have what's called rapid fire.
What platform is this? Is that Jabari? Is this the HOK?
I don't know where was that, but I got it from Anonymous Hebrew channel.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I got it from more channel.
Okay. Well, I think we did a great job tonight, and look forward to more shows like this. You know, our channel is dedicated on dialogues, on monologues, conversations based on research, intellect, and fact. And we're trying to
logic.
You know, we're trying to hash it out for the world that first and foremost, the Jew and Gentile can come together. First and foremost, as not only just peers, but as brothers with respect, even if we disagree on some things. But me and Yasha agree on most things because most arguments we have, we break it down through research, fact, history, logic, and knowledge. So we break it down bare bones, brother.
Yes. And my brothers, Eric, Michael, they have taught me some things that I didn't know. You know, I've had formed ideas, and these brothers have told me where my ideas not be correct. And I accept. And they do the same. It's hard. We all have cognitive dissonance. But I pray that the Lord heal me and fix me. That's my endeavor.
Well, hallelujah. Me too, man. You're a blessing, my brother. And as we continue with our dialogues on whatever platform we use, I think it's going to be edifying. And we're not here for ourselves. We're here to edify the people. In truth.
Yeah, we're not talking hate. We're talking positivity. You know, Chris has a nasty attitude. You listen to the attitude in which he was yelling. You were doing all of that in here.
Arrogance.
That's what happens when you have incredulous argument.
You know, his attitude makes me just kind of want to smack him upside the head, to be honest.
Yeah. His attitude is like, you are dumb. You should have known this. Why should we want to know that dumb shit you talking about? That's stupid.
You know, it just, and he failed miserably already. Shut up, bro.
Yeah, but I'm going to end out, man. I got some things I got to do.
All right, everybody. Peace and blessings.
I love y'all. Peace and blessings. We out here. Why are you